Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Bloom Outdoors. So, if you guys are kind of familiar with the channel, you would know I have a 2018 F-150, which is currently parked over there. But as this kind of being my daily truck for, like at the moment, since it's winter and it's cold out, I don't want to drive the one with the 6-inch lift on 12 wides in the snow. So, driving this guy for the winter. So since it's pretty cold out, we do have a snowstorm coming up, I think in like 2 days or something. I ordered this guy because it's something I wanted to do for quite a while on this truck. It's just something I've never really done. But since I have one on my other truck, my 2018, I decided I'm just gonna go ahead, get one for this truck, see how it is, see how I like it. Like I said, this is the daily, and so it's a lot nicer to have a remote start on your daily rather than on your non-daily. But if you guys know, this truck is an XLT, meaning with the 2012 we do not have the remote start button. We do not have the remote start button on there, so I decided to go ahead and order one. I got this one off Amazon. I'll leave a link for it down in the description. Last time, I forget the brand of the one I went with, but it wasn't Start X. There was another brand, it was a little bit cheaper, and I went with that one for my other truck. That one's just kind of weird in my opinion because I feel like sometimes it doesn't work. For the most part it works, but sometimes it's kind of iffy and it doesn't want to work. So like if I was to do it 6 different times, it won't actually work 2 of those times. I'd say 60% of the time or so it actually works, and it works just fine. But those other times you'll hit lock 3 times and it won't work at all. So I decided to go with this brand instead and see how I like it. I believe this one was around $180 or so, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I'm really hoping it'll work all the time. Like I said though, the one in my other truck works like 60% of the time. From the start, like the first couple months I had it, it worked every single time, and then kind of recently that started happening. I'm not sure why. I'm still getting power to the OBD2 port because I have the heads-up display plugged in, and that works just fine. So I'm not really sure. It must be something with some kind of control module. I have no idea what the issue is. I might order a new one for that though, just because it's kind of annoying. Wish it would work every time. But like I said, that's why I went with a different brand for this one. So I'll leave a link for it down in the description. I think this one might be for 09 to 14 or 11 to 14 years of F-150. Not 100% sure. Like I said, link in the description. I'll leave all that info down there. So we'll go ahead, open this guy up, see what's in here. Instructions, always need those. Plastic trim removal tool, control module, wiring. So we'll go ahead, open all this up, figure out what it all does, try and get this bad boy installed. Alright guys, I went ahead, opened all this stuff up. So we've got 2 different wiring harnesses here, one here, a bunch of zip ties, and 2 different adapters. And then you've also got this thing, it says professional installer on it. It was some kind of hood release latch. So this is just gonna pretty much go in the engine bay. It's optional, you can do it if you want to. So pretty much it'll be if the hood is open and you hit lock 3 times, then the truck isn't gonna start. To me, that doesn't really matter, so I'm not gonna install it, but I just thought I'd show you guys what it looks like in the kit. So you just get 1 wire with this little hood latch release, and I was trying to look at this, figure out what it did. It looks like the hood would pretty much push down on this, pushing that piece out. It actually came in the bag, but I was messing with it and I pushed the hole through the bag, so it came just fine, but I did that. So pretty much your hood would sit down on it, so whenever this is pushed down, then it would start. Like when you hit lock 3 times, it'll start, but when it's up like this, then it won't. So that is just something where you can put it in if you want to. I decided not to, or I'm not going to at least, so that'll pretty much be trash. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I've done so far. So we had this cover piece going right here, and all it was is there was a screw here, here, and here. They were 7mm. You can maybe see. There was 3 7mm screws for that, and then you've got 2 of those little plastic clips, one up here and up here. So pretty easy. You just take off those 3 bolts and then you just pop it off on the top on both sides. I also went ahead, took out these bolts in here. These are 5.5mm. There's 3 of them, and then as you can see now, we've got this column steering piece loose. Looks like there's a line here, so it should be two separate parts. As you can see, an upper and a lower, because we wouldn't be able to get it off with all of like your wipers and turn signal and your column shifter and all that kind of stuff. So we should just be able to kind of pop this thing apart and pull this lower piece down. And then we're also going to have to take this piece off right here, and all our wiring we'll need will be up under here, and then we'll need the OBD2 port as well. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off. I'm going to figure out how to kind of unsnap these two pieces apart, and then we should be free to access all the wiring up in there. I just got all that stuff off. It was actually pretty easy. Like I showed you, there was just these 4 bolts to hold on this metal piece. That was an 8mm. So you're gonna need 3 different sizes pretty much. So far we had a 5.5mm, a 7mm, and an 8mm. Pretty easy. And then with this, it was shoved up on there like that. Pretty much I just took that, oops, I dropped that. I just took this trim removal tool that the kit came with. You just slide it in that gap here, and as you can see, there's just kind of like these 2 hooks here, and then that piece in the front. So you just kind of try and get it in this gap, and you just pry it apart, wiggle it around. Super easy to take that off. As you can see, then there's just like this little tab clip that was held in right here. So super easy. You just, I dropped it again, but you just stick that in, wiggle it around, the thing pops right off. I thought it'd be more difficult. You'd have to take the whole thing off somehow, but super easy like that. So now that we've got all the disassembly done, we should pretty much just be able to unplug the factory wires that are in there already and get this new stuff plugged in, and then run through the sequences. And also another thing I should note that I forgot to tell you guys earlier, if you do get this kit, you're gonna need both keys. So you're gonna need your regular key and your spare key, because you're gonna have to cycle them both through the ignition to get this thing to work. Don't ask me why, I don't know, that's just what it says. All right, so our next step through this was, since we got up under here, we had to unplug 2 wires from underneath here. This one was the ignition plug, and this one was the immobilizer plug. Show you guys where these are located. So this is the ignition, and it went in right here. So as you can see, it went in right there. Might be kind of hard to see. It's got a red tip on it, but it went right in here, pretty much where your foot pedal button is. It's straight back from that, and you just push down on this side and you pull it back. So that was your ignition one, and then you have to do this one, which is the immobilizer plug. And that, okay, looking under here, so you've got this plug at the very top, right under the steering wheel here. It's not that one, but it was this diagonal one that went right here. Might be kind of hard to see. It also has a red tip on it, but it went in there just like that. It's probably going to be hard to see, especially because there's 3 different plugs right in here. You've got this one, and this one. It is going to be this one right under the ignition. So your ignition is right here. Follow it back, and it's pretty much right underneath of it. Might be hard for you guys to see. It's kind of dark, but that's where it is. You just unplug that. And then next thing we're gonna have to do is take off the 2 screws on the bottom of the OBD2 port down here. This thing will focus. Yeah, take off these 2 screws at the bottom of the OBD2 port. And we're pretty much gonna have to take this off. Okay, I did quite a lot, but I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys up. So pretty much what I did is, here's the control module thing. You leave that not connected to anything yet. But pretty much what I did was I took the wiring harnesses, and this has like a T connector up here. So you take the one end, the male end pretty much, plug it back into where the original one went. Take the female end, plug it in to the factory male end for the, whatever that was called, the ignition one. And then same thing for, I forget the names of them already, but for whatever this one was here, same thing. You take the T-harness, take the female end of what the kit came with, plug it into the male end of the truck, and then same thing, but opposite sides for up here. And so you've got the T-harness and the T-harness right up there. And then you've got that coming back to right down here with all your wires, which you'll end up plugging into here, but you don't do that yet. And then I took off the factory OBD2 port, just to kind of make it easier to access. Two 7mm bolts holding that up. And then I plugged this piece in right here. It's another like T-harness. I plugged it into here. It kind of fit weird. I'm not really sure if that's right. I think it is. And then it gave you two different extra connectors for OBD2 ports. So I took one of them because this one, in my opinion at least, looked the closest to the factory one. I guess I don't know if that's right. We'll find out when I try it out and everything. But I think that's right because it was the only one that had the same bolts holding it up. So I figured I'd just put it in the same way, and I think it's the same one because it's got the same kind of bolts. Otherwise you just have this white one here. So I guess I don't think that's right, but I don't know. Came with this, so I just plugged it in. And then there's another one right here, and as you can tell, there's no bolt holes for it. So I think that this is right because it's got the same kind of bolt holders to hold it up. I guess we'll see and find out. But I pretty much plugged everything into the truck that needs to be plugged in. So now we just plug stuff in to the actual control module. This might be a weird view, but it's the only thing I got to work with here. My face is, this thing's not gonna focus very good because the sun is coming right in. But I gotta follow these instructions and I gotta use two hands, so it's gonna be hard to show you guys. So you're gonna take the control module for it. Got the wiring harness, the other one is down on the ground. I can't reach it from where I'm at, but it says press and hold the programming button. So you got a little button on the top of here, that's your programming button. You're gonna hold that with your finger holding down, connect to the black connector. So we're gonna find black connector, should be this guy, and it's gonna plug in on this side. So black connector, it's gonna plug in right here, but it says the blue, red, yellow, and blue and red LEDs will alternate. So we're gonna hold this down, plug in this black connector. Okay, we got stuff flashing. When the blue and red are lit, release the programming button. There we go. So they stay lit, that's what we want. Might be hard for you guys to see, but it's blue and red are lit. Insert both the white connectors, but leave the red one disconnected. So we're gonna grab this white one, plug it in right there. The other white one is on this other wiring harness. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see. I don't have much room to play with the wires here. I'm gonna plug in the white one. White one should be in, so we'll grab the key, put it in, turn it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Stopped it. Turn the key to the off position, then remove the key. Okay. Maybe I waited too long. Insert the second key. Wait 3 seconds. Second key.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Insert the first key into the ignition. Blue and red will flash 10 times quickly. Blue and red are not flashing. Damn. That sucks. They did not flash. It says the blue and red LEDs will flash 10 times quickly. Wait, the blue LED will flash. And then connect the red connector. But that did not happen. So I think I'm just gonna unplug stuff and try it again. Hopefully that works. I think what happened was I waited too long because I had to flip the page. It says insert one key in the ignition, turn to the run on, wait 3 seconds. It says turn the key to the off position and remove the key. I don't know if you leave it in for 3 seconds. I don't know. I'll try and do it quicker this time, I guess, instead of waiting and flipping the page. Okay, press and hold programming button, connect the black connector. We will try this again. We're holding it. We got stuff flashing. Did that. Doing it again. But we've got those two lit up. As you can see, insert both the white connectors. Hopefully we're good there. Okay, so insert one key in the ignition, wait 3 seconds, and then turn the key to the off position and remove the key. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, the door's locked. They're both flashing. The blue's lit up. The blue LED will flash quickly. I think that happened. Okay, connect the, oh yep, blue's flashing rapidly now. Don't know, maybe be able to see. Oh, now it turned to yellow. Okay, now we're gonna take this red connector, plug it in. Okay, red's plugged in. I think it worked, I don't know. The only thing I could think would be I didn't plug the red in when it was flashing blue. And then it turned to yellow when I plugged it in. I don't know if that's supposed to happen or not. We'll test this out. Just got out of the truck. We should press the lock 3 times and it should start. Okay, it worked. Sweet. It worked. Door's locked. I didn't even get it closed all the way. It unlocked. And I'll show you guys too, even there's the ignition, everything's still torn apart. The key's in my hand. The other key's right there. So it does work. Go ahead, close this. And then to shut it off, you should just have to press lock 3 times again. So we'll try it. And it did it. And it didn't even make a noise either. My other truck, you hit lock 3 times to shut it off, and it'll beep even, or like do the horn. So we'll try it again. So 1, 2, 3. You hear it kind of prep there, and it should turn on. There we go. Awesome. You hear that straight piped? I don't think it's quite as loud as the Flowmaster on that truck, but it's still pretty loud. Cool. Now just... And it doesn't even make the lock noise either. Notice too, I guess. Maybe it's because my lights aren't on automatic setting right now. They're turned in the off position. Because my other truck, you'll do it, and the running lights will turn on. This one, they did not do that. They just stayed off. Might be hard to tell because of the sunlight and everything. But they did stay off. Might be because the lights have to be in the auto position. Not sure. So unlock it. We should be good to go. I kind of want to test out this OBD2 port. Make sure it works. I've got a reader for it, so I think I'm going to try and plug that in and see if it reads or says anything, I guess. So I'm going to try that quick. Make sure this one will work so I can use the ones with the bolts so I can put it back up in the same spot. And then if that works, we should just be able to zip tie everything up and put everything back together. So I plugged in that OBD2 scanner code reader thing I was talking about, and pretty much it didn't fit with this connection on, or this connection on. Kind of bummed about that because I wanted these screws to be back in place. It didn't fit. I know it fit into the original one that was in here, and it did fit into the white one that was like originally there that the kit came with. So I just took off that extra connection, less wires under here anyways. Pretty much I just kind of zip tied everything up under here. I gotta cut that one yet, but just zip tied, if it'll even focus. Zip tied all that stuff. Zip tied all this up under here, so it's just kind of hanging there. Nothing's really by the pedals. Maybe the OBD2 scanner thing is, or the OBD2 port, I should say. But that's fine, because then if somebody's looking for it, they can see it right there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We'll just go ahead and get everything put back together. And there we have it, guys, just like that. Everything is put back together. Pretty quick and easy, not too difficult. It was a little hard getting this back together because I showed you that little hook on the end of it. There was a hole on the top piece, so you kind of have to get the bottom in first, grab it around, and then pull the top back over, or pull the bottom or whatever. But install was not that hard. Reinstallment, not that hard. Taking everything apart, not that hard. Just a couple bolts here and there. So yeah, pretty easy. Everything still works. The only thing that I could really find as a disadvantage would be your OBD2 port isn't screwed in right down here anymore. I just kind of have it hanging above the gas, right down, or above the brake, I mean. Down under there, but it's not gonna get in the way of my foot or anything. Got everything zip tied up. Cut the zip ties so we don't have a bunch of loose crap hanging around. So, I guess, let me close this door all the way. So, I guess with that, this thing should start. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it in, I'm gonna put the lights, because you see I got them in the off position. But like I showed you guys how the lights in the front did not turn on, the running lights did not turn on. So I want to know then, with that in auto, is it gonna turn them on? So you can see they're on right now. I can just hit the lock button, they all shut off. So hit lock 3 times. I want to see if these running lights turn on then. So all the lights are on. So even the headlight bulbs themselves are turned on. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but exhaust again, but it looks like they do turn on. And so like I told you in my other, just the running lights turn on every time, doesn't matter what setting they're in. This one, it'll either be off if it's in the off position, or I don't know if it's because it's dark in here, or if they'll always turn on when it's in the on position. And then hit lock 3 times to shut it off. And it just shuts off. You don't hear the horn or anything. Well, I guess if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, drop a comment down below. Let me know. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys trying to do this yourself. I was looking online and I couldn't even find a video over this exact one. I did find a couple other videos over some other models, like not the StartX, but a couple other brands. But those weren't really helpful even when I was trying to install it. So just thought I'd make a little video and tell you guys with the StartX one what it's like. So there you guys have it. There's also a link for the product down in the description. Other than that, thanks for watching another video of Bloom Outdoors. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.